Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're going to be watching episode 7 of Hibike Euphonium season 3. Pretty excited to be here on this chilly Wednesday morning. So yeah, just a little bit of housekeeping while we're here. I think from now we're going to do similar to Utena, or at least what I've been trying to do with Utena, which is one episode one week, 2 episodes the next week, and just kind of alternating that until we finish. So it'll be 7 here today, 8, 9 next week, 10 the following, and then 11, 12 to finish us off, giving us about a month till we're done. Again, I'm imagining this thing's 12 episodes. That would make sense to me considering all the other ones have been 12 episodes to my knowledge. And if it's 13, so be it, it's 13. Maybe we push ourselves and do 3 episodes to finish. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, basically. But yeah, that kind of gets me on the alternate to Utena, if that makes any sense. So one week I'll do 2 episodes of Utena and 1 of this. The next one I'll do 1 of Utena and 2 of this. And then the weekends with Dungeon Meshi, that just kind of solves itself because it's the weekend and I don't have as many commitments. So that should work. Should. But things go wrong pretty often, so we'll see. I haven't been told any stopping points or anything, so I don't know what the best course of action is there regarding actual good stopping points for the show, but it is what it is. It'll work itself out, like this comment here from Pencil Sharp from last week about episodes 5 and 6. And last week was quite enjoyable. I found more than I thought I would, especially in episode 6, indicating future stuff and mistakes being made, and especially around Mayu. Mayu's like the major point where Kumiko continues to fuck up. And there's good reasons for her doing so, but like, I'd like her to notice it, at least a little bit, or maybe somebody else notice it for her and then let her know. Again, lots of visual language about her being excluded, lots of visual language about differentiating her from the rest of the group, all the camera stuff. The example of Shuichi going and taking Matomu and inviting him out to the festival and doing that more kind of group activity type thing with everybody, as opposed to Kumiko relying on old faithful, old Reina, and kind of neglecting the rest of the group like that. Again, talks to the push and pull between the two sides of Kumiko as it pertains to her spot in the story right now. Either way, episode 5 is from Taichi Ishidate, the Violet Evergarden director, if you couldn't tell from all the reflected lighting and detail. And I've got an example of which up here in a second, because I am the stupid, because Haruka and Kaori were the people at the festival. So let's get that up here. And I'll try to explain my position at least somewhat. Okay, so looking at this now, clearly Kaori. Like, she's got the Kaori hair. That's true. I don't think I've ever seen a side profile of Haruka. She looks very pretty here, and I can see what you mean about the reflected light, obviously. But yeah, I'm backing myself by saying that these two characters do not entirely look like the two characters that I thought they would be. Also, it's a bit of a random pull, like Kaori and Haruka. I mean, there's a lot of Kumiko reflected student council president stuff. I remember in the old festival episodes, we panned down and we saw Haruka and the gang, like when they were student council president, actually at the festival interacting with people, where Kumiko's gone off and isolated herself. Maybe we're building some contrast there, that they've created memories here at the festival itself rather than isolating themselves. And, you know, now even after the fact, they're still down here doing shit. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. Maybe I am the stupid, but it wouldn't be the first time, let's put it that way. Soli can mean a section plays by itself, but it's also just the plural of solo as it is used here. Sure, so it's just like two people doing a solo, which is an oxymoron, but sure. Also this, which two characters bump into Haruka and Kaori? Hang on. Yeah, it's Sachan Michan. I don't see any connection there between those two. Weird pull. Episode 6 is from veteran Kitano Hara, who's been there since the beginnings of KyoAni, which is a long time ago, all the way back to Full Metal Panic, Fumofu? Is that the first fucking Kyoto Animation thing? The answer to that question is kind of. So there's, yeah, whatever the hell all this stuff is, which I've never heard of in my entire life, and isn't very good, apparently. And then, yeah, we go from here. And this is where I expected the lineage to start. And again, I know it isn't framed correctly. Get off my ass about it. So yeah, interesting, sure. Mayu's response, "Sorry you're the president," is such a contrast to the previous episodes. Kumiko keeps pushing her away, and it's pretty sad to see Mayu always alone photographing the band couples. All the band couples. "Sorry you're the president," like keeping herself and kind of Kumiko in turn keeping her from being friends because there's that barrier of authority, I guess. I think this is the scene where she keeps trying to go into like Kumiko's like hidey hole, her little like corner there where she plays. And yeah, she gets a little bit defensive about that. Again, it's a metaphor for her vulnerabilities. She doesn't want to seem vulnerable to this new person. Something something Oscar, something something better UFO player, something something drama. We'll see where that goes. Taki is getting a little bit of what I call second year coach syndrome. Coach joins a bad team, receives lots of praise when they're better, and then the next year they do marginally worse and everybody hates him. I would agree with this. I've seen this happen in sports, in real life as well. It's not entirely fair, and it's just based off a change in expectations, really. And that's where the second years are coming from, right? The second year's this year that they didn't go through that growth in the first year of Taki, and now they're like, is this guy really all that? So they're not really trusting his vision as much. Again, a lot of that's through Sachan and Michan, upset about Sachan missing the tuba stuff, so sure. Also, this is an interesting note. Reina is also the one that came up with absolute meritocracy. Taki has never said that. Just thinking about it now, Kumiko's dilemma of having learned from her experience but being unable to communicate it to her juniors reminds me of that feeling of an older sibling. Okay, cool. So this one here isn't exactly linked to the first sentence, but I digress. Sure, I'm with you on this. So Taki's like, okay, let's pick Suzume because she has this wonderful sound that'll complement the rest of the group as a team, which doesn't talk to an absolute meritocracy in a singular musical sense, because Sachan's the better player. But it's like that's something that Reina was pushing instead of Taki himself. So I don't know. This will be interesting if what I think happens with the auditions in the future happens. We'll see. And then this stuff is just like more. There's a lot of sibling stuff in the show in general, like Kumiko and her sister, as well as now Matomu and his, and the kind of feeling of the older sibling. Yeah, it's pretty neat how all the themes in the show come together like that. And thank you for the comments, of course. If you're a patron, you can access the YouTube comments and comment if you want. It's up to you entirely, really, but you know, it's neither here nor there. What else? Patreon shout out while I'm here. Let me get up that list. So yeah, if you support me on Patreon at the kind of middle tier, the $6 tier and up, you get your episodes early. So if you want to do that, you can. And people have done this up to and including Annie Gregg, Fleur Nightingale, Mickey Babbers, Trails Plus Plus, Adley, Bobbin, Chobo Ribby, Domobot, Ed, Fruit, Gloriana Tenebrae, Gus N, Heath, Ika, Jaakko Järvinen, Jacob R, Joran, Clem, Nosta, Lou, Max, Mish, Nick, Pencil Sharp 333, Ronlad BNK, Sam1373, Skeleton, Victoria S, Without a Net, Zach, Binchy, Hans Peter, Kelvin Cawthorn, Marsh, Aidan O'Brien, and Shawk. So thank you very much to all those people. Money is good. I like money. What else was I going to say? Predictions for this week. So we're doing a performance. I think we're at Kyoto. We're at the Kyoto final. What do you call it? Competition meet. And we're probably going to win because we're really good, and it's the final season, and we're probably going to win. But we should expect a performance. So let's get excited about that, or at least the kind of outcomes of a performance, if that makes any sense. The kind of, what do you call it, repercussions. Drama is going to spur from this as well, no matter how good or bad we do. Maybe we just scrape through and then there's angst based off that, because if we do as we're doing right now, we won't have any chance of winning Kansai, which is the next goal. And then auditions go from there, and then drama. You know. What else do we have on the back burner? Again, a lot of Mayu. Mayu Kanade, there's drama there for sure still. We have this Sachan Michan stuff challenging the authority of the group and the auditions at the moment. We have Kumiko's choice of what to do after school, whether it be music school or not. Those conversations with Reina and Azusa last week were elucidating in that regard. And what else? I don't know. It'll be Hibike Euphonium and it'll be pretty and there'll be music and stuff and it'll be nice. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's watch this sucker. You can join the Discord, like the videos, sub, all that normal stuff. Do it now. Do it. Yeah. So we'll get episode whatever up. Episode 7. That's the word I'm looking for. Episode 7. We'll get episode 7 up now and we'll watch it. Rightio, I have episode 7 up there ready to go. 24 minutes and 57 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with your copy. As always, there'll be a picture-in-picture provided to those that need it, and using the subs please version should be very similar to what everybody else has. So yeah, just gonna give it a 3, 2, 1 and jump right in. Rightio? 3, 2, 1, go. Also, I don't know why we're so quiet, so let's turn that up a bit. We are literally about to fight Thor right now, which is exciting. Definitely is dark in my room, eh? Even with the light and everything. It's a really shitty day outside, really cold. Again, not cold by everybody else's standards. I know I have European and North American viewers where it's actually cold, but it's cold enough for me. I saw something somewhere where it's like Australian houses are some of the coldest in the world, mostly because we don't have, like, when it's cold, we don't have the stuff in the houses to prevent the cold. So, I don't know, take that with a grain of salt. But I also don't have the heater on, so am I stupid? Maybe. The jury is still out on me being stupid. Anyway, focus on the show. That's why we're here. I just had a double shot coffee, so I'm like fucking off my head as well. Again, all the season stuff, so that metaphorically in the opening, coming out of the winter into the spring, coming out of the Reina into the Kumiko. Also, bro, the amount of times I want to call Kumiko Hibiki is crazy. So don't ask. Okay, we won. Every time, she loves it. Interesting. He's in a white suit. Oh wait, no, this is something else. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Look at all the blankets. I don't want to see Raina go full Spartan. Yeah. Hi. It certainly is summer. Okay. Bond Festival? Summer for Martha. I don't know what the hell that is. Hmm. So we did pass Kyoto. Gotcha. I kind of just skipped over it. She doesn't know the law? Yep. Mm-hmm. Maybe think about that a little bit more. Oh, no. She tried. An attempt was made. We like that. Glasses girl, she's back. With another color. Why animate that so well? Why is the detail so high? Why? Cool. Tone is nasty. Sick. Oh, that was awesome. Loves a chop. What are you talking about? Okay, good. The intended audience heard the joke. Maybe chase that up? Nope. That's pretty bad. She has some decorum. Okay, so bond break and camp are two different things. Do you want to hang out again? We can hang out. Sounds like one party's thinking about it a bit more than the other. Oh, let's fucking go, chat. Oh, that was great voice acting too. You brought up that it was hot. Why would I care? Good. This is a good step. Why would I not be sure? Based. Yeah, no boys allowed. What are you kidding? College event? Really? Huh. Now, I haven't really thought about it, and you're already thinking about it is kind of crazy. Exactly. Get shit on. Can you do it all? Who even is that? I remember. It takes me back, too. Oh, let's go! Yo. Hell yeah. I'm loving this. And you two are still hanging out? I'm loving this. It's fucking musty as hell in here. Yeah, she copied me first. They don't know who you are. Oh, it's Kaho in there. Yeah, look at it. Funny. I forgot about their whole thing. I don't know why, but I did. Damn. Interesting. Okay, all the good schools are there again. It's true. Good old Ryusei. I hope you do. Yeah. Yeah, we're all over the beef. She's not. That was cute. I like that scene. That was good. Okay, so this is the same day as Pool, and this is just like an open day or something, is it? Should be good at that. Yeah, it's what she normally does. This is a good step. You should go to open days and stuff. They're they're helpful and actually use them. Talk to people. Yeah, pretty obvious, but sure. Funny. Yeah. Hey, you've got it all figured out. Yeah. Well, you were good with the first years, but that's not exactly preschoolers. The music is gorgeous. Yeah, she's good like that. Like some kind of teacher would. Interesting. Mmm. What an interesting thing to say. I'm surprised we're bringing this up now. He never turned up in a suit. No, you just think about shit a lot. Well, I don't think Hazuki has that problem all the time. Mm-hmm. Oh, sister. Hello. How about we talk about it? Where's my fucking pool scene, damn it? What kind of event? Oh, your event. Hello, father. You didn't know? Do you guys like not text at all? Sure. Damn, thanks for the vote of confidence. She's just like me for real. You guys are being very direct. What? Okay. The gift was good. Oh, it's also like a link to the beautician stuff. Okay, we're finally at the pool. Gotcha. Sure. Yeah, you're literally like 16. Just settle down. Oh, Rurika. Love the hair. Rurika's so cool. Yeah, I don't plan on. She's funny. What? What do you mean? Where's Mayu? Go talk with her. Like now, quick. Talk. Talk more. Quick. About other stuff than the weather. Quick. It's true. Yeah, she has a lot of trouble. Do you mean in general? Yeah. Camera. Directing's really good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I was going to say the same thing. In that same way, the opposite of Raina is the other way I was going to go. Have you seen the film Liz and the Bluebird? Yeah, I have. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. What a terrible thing to say. That was the cue, by the way. You meant to like give her like a hug or something. No, okay, sure. Just let it fester. How much money do you have to buy that many drinks at the pool? They're always damn expensive. Funny. Yeah, I see what you're doing there, show. Another lovely day at the pool, everybody. What do you mean by that? What an interesting question. Okay. Yeah, but. Yeah. I love the shot of the pool there, too. I'll talk about that. Good step, Kumiko. Okay, sure. Back to the life of endless practice. Just a bit of sunburn. I don't know about sexy. That's a pervert. Oh, it doesn't actually tan. Interesting. Kabe-chan senpai? Okay, sure. Can I get a copy of that? Huh. What an odd thing to say. Okay, so you see it as a little bit cynical. Right. And she's right too. Yeah, this episode's kind of like she like kind of tried to like just kind of plaster over the cracks a little bit and try to fix the foundation and dig deep into the problem. And I was like, yeah, this is good. We're addressing it kind of. So that has worked in the past with other conflicts in the series, or in this season specifically. This is a bigger conflict. This is a bigger problem, and we need a deft a touch to get into the actual meanings of it. I guess, yeah, from a writing perspective, I would be disappointed if we just like literally swept all the drama under the rug like right now. And again, a very obvious metaphor there of, hey, let's take this almost obligatory picture, but it didn't develop properly. You tried, there was an attempt, but you need more here. And Kumiko has come to realize that, and now we're going into another audition with the camp. So, hella drama incoming for sure. And at this point, you guys are only like a couple episodes in front of me, so like, you guys don't even know that much more than me, which is kind of funny. Well, I mean, I say that, but then there's like Patreon, so, you know, you'll see. Well, I'll see. Anyway, I'm just saying words. But good episode, though. Anything with a swimsuit is good. And yeah, a little bit of analysis on episode 7 coming right up. So yeah, episode 7 in the bag, and I kind of said a lot of my piece during the ED about the main focus of the episode being Mayu, and how that problem isn't done yet. Kumiko thought she could give it like a cursory look and it'd be over, but it's not over. It goes deeper than that. Maybe Kumiko along the way in her discussion also made some mistakes. She isn't trying to she's trying to include her as part of a group photo, not a photo with just the two of them, which I think is a distinction that's important. And again, like Mayu at the very end sees Kumiko's actions as very cynical. Like, okay, you're just trying to prevent disaster right now, not trying to be my friend, which is the distinction that's important, right? Like, I've come to you twice as Mayu and asked you to do stuff, and then you are really weird about it. And now you've come to me once and we did something, and now you think you've ticked that box and that it's done. And it is not done, and she wants people to know that. Interesting. The other stuff in this episode was, it was pretty scattershot old episode, because we had the college stuff, where we went to that open day and had a little bit of a discussion there. There was the stuff with Mamiko, which I thought was quite cool as well. And the Natsuki and Yuko showing up, which was great, obviously, because they're really good characters. But yeah, I wish we could dive into a few other things a little bit more. I did like the Kanade Natsuki stuff as well. I thought that was interesting. One of them still very much not over it, but the other one is. Yeah. Just funny. Let's go back through it, because I think I'll see more in the moment and talk to it. So for a start, I don't really understand what this is. This is like Monica team that did like some ancillary other competition and also went through to Kansai, right? We also bring up Michi Sensei here very early in the episode, which Hazuki elaborates upon when they're having that little meal later on. A specific focus in the direction here to focus on Kumiko's face as it pertains to Michi Sensei as opposed to Michi Sensei herself, which is purposeful considering my major prediction around the teaching stuff. So yeah, like it's becoming clearer and clearer to me, and maybe I'll talk about it later as well, that it isn't going to be a surprise. I thought that they were building up the teacher thing as a surprise, as something that, like, oh my god, I can't believe they picked this for a direction. Oh my god, it fits perfectly. No, they just want you to, they want you to know. They're making it bleedingly obvious all the time the direction they're going, I feel. So sure. Also, again, I talked about it in the moment. Taki needs to calm down. The all-white suit, it's not that serious, bro. Like, settle down. I guess the indicator that it's Monica is Sachan being here right front and center, so she wouldn't have been in the competition because she failed at the audition, so this is everyone else. But I guess it goes to show that we've got a really, really good kind of seconds team as well coming through that are still better than seconds teams all around everywhere else as well. So what essentially happened here is we skipped over the Kyoto competition for the rest of us, right? We just passed it. We don't even really talk about it very much, right? The competition members are going to win at Kansai no matter what. Now that we've had, Monica win it Kyoto, now we have to continue their winning formula as well. Just some nice touches in the background for the fans as well. We've got all the blankets on the floor, and they will be up the windows at some points as well, because we're doing the stuff where we're trying to, limit the echo so our playing is louder. I think that's limit the reverb in the room, dampen the sound so you have to play better. I don't know. It's a weird one, right? If you play, it's like ankle weights, because you're playing in an auditorium during competition, right? which has really fantastic sound stuff, so it'll echo really well and reverberate throughout the room. But I'm ankle weighting at the moment by doing the opposite in this room, so I play really, really well when I'm in the echoey room. Works for me. But yeah, that was explained early in the series, and now they're just doing it in the background. We don't need to explain it twice. Either way, Raina here wants to make us go super Spartan even more, so that's kind of crazy. And Taki's kind of following here with some really, really specific advice, really trying to tune him up into shape. We bring up the question here through Kumiko of how we keep the rest of the members motivated, right? Which talks to the cynical ending at the end of the episode where it's like, yeah, well, this is just another attempt to keep us motivated, right? Like, you care about the concert band, you don't care about the me. And I think, yeah, again, that's what we're trying to get across there. So the idea here, I think, is that everybody else is on summer holiday break at the moment, right? Everybody else that isn't in the club. Now, because they're in the club, they're practicing basically every day, especially Kumiko, because she's the president. She needs to be there and do extra work. She feels like she hasn't even had a holiday, right? But there are 3 days where we don't do anything, and those are the 3 days of Bond Festival, and those are what this kind of episode centers around. Summer Fermata. I don't know what Fermata is, but I know what summer is. Let's just say it's some music thing, sure. The Italian name for a pause in music. There you go, summer pause. We're pausing competition for a bit to do some other shit. Gotcha. It's a little bit of a breather episode, but even then, not really a breather episode based on the very end. We go to the pool and not a lot of breathing is had. The drama continues. We bring up here again that we're doing camp again, so another on the checklist of Hibike Euphonium stuff. But most importantly about the camp, we're doing auditions on the first day, which seems kind of crazy. I would do them on the last day of camp, but that's neither here nor there. Very interesting shot on Kumiko's fucking fist here, as she said that if people lose their spots, I'd like to believe that that's because Kitauji itself is improving. You can also see Sachan in the back here, which I think is an interesting note. Maybe all of these characters were just in Monaco, I don't know. This guy's not even in the right uniform. Get in the fucking game, dude. Seriously. Still obviously pretty uncomfortable about the whole public speaking thing as well, which is a nice running theme. So again, we're making the episode feel whole here. We have Mayu kind of walking away with Tsubame, right? And then we have Kumiko thinking about their interactions in the past and thinking, hey, I better like rectify things here, right? And try to become a better friend and try to tick that box a little bit. Sees her, calls out to her, is going to say something, but then gets pulled away from her president's stuff. If she really, really cared about Mayu in particular, she would brush away the president's stuff and go over to her, right? Think about what she's done in the past with regards to Reina. Literally put aside the best thing for the club for Reina. Like she did that during the festival, the Agata festival, right? And now she can't do that for Mayu. Not important enough, not worthy enough of that, and turns and goes to the kind of president stuff instead. Again, if you need a visual representation of the rock and a hard place that Kumiko finds herself between, this is probably the place to start. Now, this is more Kyoto Animation stuff, because why the fuck do you make this look so good? Like, the fidelity and the lighting on this is insane, and then this just looks real. That looks it looks better than real. You've animated this in such a way that it moves and looks like it should, if it's tuning something, and you put fucking stickers on it down the bottom. Because, like, they love shit like that. Just beautiful, like, fidelity, like, wonderful look, blah, 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 looks real, and then a little bit of character on it as well. It just goes to show the philosophy of this show and this studio, just again and again. More importantly here, we have Suzume playing, and apparently her fucking tone is nasty. And again, we saw the blankets on the ground, so what we're trying to do at the moment is play really loud, so that's what she's got to... That's also her role in the group, right? That's what Taki said last week. He's like, hey, we want her because she plays loud, and it'll be a loud performance, and that's good. So even if the tone's nasty, we have other people that can make up for that. Again, she's probably really succeeding at this time when we got the blankets up. And there's a really cool cut here, so we do the fun bit about her becoming a jazz musician based on her dynamic range, and then we cut to that shot there, where it's like there to there, which I thought was pretty creative. Of course, we're watching the glasses frames. It's become, I guess, known to me through Discord that she changes her glasses frames from episode to episode, these ones being a purer white, which is kind of insane. Yeah, again, more Kyoto Animation crazy character details. I'm also liking the Hazuki chop stuff she keeps doing. Also, we have Yayoi here saying stupid shit, and then Kaho-chan fucking loves it, and everybody else thinks it's a fucking terrible joke. Look at their faces. Maybe Mi-chan thinks it's okay, I don't know. And then we have Kumiko coming into the room looking for Mayu, and apparently she's off practicing by herself. Kumiko doesn't choose to pursue this at this time instead, and still opts to go for the president route, and stay here, presumably. And then we cut from there out, and we're at the train station with Reina. So, hey, yeah, I can make time, to travel together with Reina and make plans and blah, 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 but I can't find time today to talk to Mayu about what she's going through. Yeah, there's credence to what happens at the end of the episode for sure. Anyway, this is more like cute Kumiko Reina stuff, so if you're into that, you're into that. Reina is very embarrassed about wanting to invite Kumiko to the pool. She believes that in the conversation, Kumiko's already started steering it that way based on talking about how hot it is, and she was not on the same wavelength at all. And I find that very funny that you thought that we were immediately transitioning into talking about pool. And, there's certain orders of operations to conversations that you just assume, and you assume you're on the same wavelength and you've got to go through the formalities to get to the end point, but they weren't on the same wavelength. It's just, it's quite funny. I like that for Reina. Also, a ton of really good voice acting here, like you getting really mad and there's one in particular here in a second. Yeah, the sure I'll miss you too, it's so matter of fact that it sounds kind of fake. She's right. This moment here where Kumiko finally makes her say it and she says pool, and then pool. And then, where she's makes this it's like a Kumiko noise, but she half says pool as she's saying it as well. Like absolutely indignant that she brought up the pool and that's what she was mad about. And yeah, it's just, it's really, really good. It feels real, which is the point. And of course, again, if we're ticking off the list of things we do in Hibike Euphonium, we're well into the second season of the TV anime now, which starts with a pool scene with Natsuki. I remember that's when we bring up all that kind of stuff. Then we do the Natsuki, Mizure, Yuko shebang, start of season 2, before moving into the camp. Now, that's still going during the camp too, because there's the scenes with Mizure and Yuko at night, which are really good as well. So, yeah, we're just kind of in that point in the whole year of schooling, right? They also bring up matching swimsuits here, which makes what they do at the very end extremely gay. But again, we'll bring it up when we get to it. So again, we brought up early in the episode that Kumiko wants to invite Mayu and get her involved in the group and that kind of thing. And she immediately thinks, oh, great, this is 2 birds, 1 stone. I can use this date idea with Reina, and I can get Mayu to come along and we can just nip that all in the bud now. Not how this is going to work, no. But again, in Grand Kyoto, this is really, really on the nose, oh my god. In Grand Kyoto Animation fashion, we do a fan servicey swimsuit thing because the fans go nuts for it, which, I mean, I'm not exempt to that. I go nuts for it too, but again, it's very obvious. Good old beach episode, huh? As beach as you can get from Kyoto anyway. Again, I should talk about that. These 2 signs up here. One's the college thing, and then it's literally what's next on the agenda for the episode. It's oh yeah, college sessions, and then we'll go to the pool, which is what happens in the episode. Yeah, so again, I think the problem here, because this doesn't go that badly, it's do you want to go to the pool? And then it's oh, who can we invite next? Yeah, let's see who else. So it's not about Mayu doesn't become the focus, And then, we got a big old list, right? And then Ririka's coming along too. We got a fuck ton of people going to this thing. Again, makes it feel like more an obligatory invite rather than something special. What the hell is Yayoi doing? Look at this shit. Look at that. What is she doing? What's going on there? She's just fucking chilling in the sun, I guess. It's kind of funny. But we're bringing up the boys here. No boys allowed in the swimsuit episode. This isn't free. Get out of here with your free type stuff. We bring up the college event here, the same as the poster that I just highlighted before. Fucking the point of the scene here is that Kanade and Ririka are going to this thing even though they're in their second year, and that makes Kumiko feel incompetent and like she's behind the 8 ball. Kanade says it in such a fashion where it's yeah, obviously where it's like, oh my god, that wasn't obvious to me. Just nice Kumiko moment, a little bit self-conscious. Yeah, great little almost cutaway gag here where, again, she feels her own inadequacy and then cuts back to she locks the fuck back in and it's fine. And again, this is all during Bond break, so she isn't really relaxing at all. She's, it's pretty head on. It's like college into pool stuff, into more drama, into camp. Like, that's an insane schedule, right? We've also got the blackboard here where we're doing the pre-concert band Bond break, if I can read, fucking cleanup. We're cleaning up the thing, which is when Yuko and Natsuki show up. It's also a great chance for us to bring out some old favorites. We've got the Tubakun outfit, which Kumiko was wearing back in the day. Feels like a relic of a different show. Feels very K-On! Which again isn't a bad thing. But yeah, it just reminds us how unserious some of the stuff in season 1 was. I can't stop looking at Yayoi this episode. She's got so many stupid fucking faces. It's funny. Oh, and this is really embarrassing for Kaho-chan. Now I remember right. Okay. Because now we have 2 previous senpai, really, really important to the people that I find important, and I'm in here messing around wearing a costume. So yeah, that's fun for her. But let's focus on the good stuff. 2 of my favorite characters have reappeared in the show. I like Kanade, like, instantly fucking terrified as well. She's gonna beat me up again. Not that that's what happened, but It's also fun because these 2 are still together, which is basically what I want out of everything. So, it's good. I don't know what's the precedence for them showing up. I think they just wanted to check in and they picked today as the day to do so because they would have had some time off from university as well. Sure. They're also wearing matching hair clips, which is way more important. Even calling her Omae Bucho, which is fun. Just like, oh yeah, you're the president now, because we like literally made you the president. Here's the hairpins if you wanted a closer look. They're still flirting all the time. Like, Natsuki breathes in and starts coughing, and it's like, it's because they're cleaning, Just like little things all the time. She's ripping me off. She's ripping me off. They do their whole routine. Look at the fucking eyes. I just love it. And a bit of it's almost like they're putting on a performance. It's like, oh yeah, let's do all the Natsuki Yuko cliches in one thing. Like, oh yeah, the back and forth, the embarrassment, that kind of thing. She's copying me, I'm copying her. And Kanade's like, you're being fucking annoying. Kanade basically tells them to fucking lock in because there's first years here that don't even know you. And then Kaho's really like apologetic for her thing. She like bows and her like kind of mask slips off, which is fun. We notice that she's a Euphonium player, which gets us talking about Euphonium. She's already better than you, Natsuki, is what Kanade says. To which she says, fucking that's good. Hell yeah. Again, like, I'm in university now. I don't care about our like petty squabble we had last year, where Kanade is clearly still holding a bit of a grudge. They also bring a fuck ton of ice creams, and then Kanade very explicitly denies having the ice cream with everybody else. Where somebody, I can't quite hear in the audio, somebody says that they'll have 2 instead, which stops Kanade in her tracks, where she thinks, oh, maybe instead I really do want it, and then walks away. Little blush there too. How good's that background? Why make that specific background that good? More Kyoto animation, I guess. Now they play one of my favorite instrumentations in the soundtrack here, which is nice, and we have a nice meeting between last year's president and vice president with this year's president and drum major. It's basically like a strategy meeting. Which schools are going to be at Kansai? Are they going to be good? Do we think we can beat them? That kind of vibe. So the real danger here is going to be Ryusei again, we think. We also telegraph here that if we make it in nationals, we'll probably get a reunion between a lot of characters, which I'm sitting here waiting for, most certainly. I think she's also implying here that getting to nationals is much like winning a lottery. So they got lucky their first year, Taki's first year and everything, right? When we made it to nationals. And when I was in charge, we just got unlucky. Hopefully you guys will get lucky again. Just nice Yuko stuff, right? And again, we're building contrast here. So Kosaka and Yuko had their whole drama, right? Back in season 1. And she kind of plays off that. Yuko plays off that a little bit, right? Kosaka flattering people. Didn't see that coming. No, I mean it. And then Natsuki's like, she's a 3rd year. She's grown up. She's over this shit. And you should be too. And then in that same vein, turns her head and looks down and sees Kanade and thinks about the drama that they had and that she maybe needs to do some growing up too. Just have a little moment looking at each other, thinking about what happened during Chikai no finale. And then from there, straight into the college stuff. Even meeting up with Ririka again, every moment she's on screen is a delight. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Natsuki Yuko stuff, though. Like, obviously, they're two of my favorite characters, and they've returned. I think there's a really effective montage during this sequence as we basically just go around an open day and interview, and it's like a bunch of mini lectures going on everywhere. It's actually kind of intimidating. Again, I've gone to a bunch of these, obviously, in the past, but never on this scale. And I'm just thinking, like, there's a lot of fucking people in Japan and a lot of people in that Kyoto general area, right? So obviously, this is the one time that they're all going to be together looking at the same stuff. It would be insanely huge logistically. Again, the music's really good during this montage, as it is with most of the rest of the show. It's a little bit on the nose, but what can you do? Up to and including continuing the music into this scene, which is one of my favorite in the episode for sure. Hazuki seems so sure of herself, I love it. It seems like this was actually effective for Hazuki, and Kumiko doesn't seem to think it was effective, but I think it's doing more than we think at the moment. Like, it's a really weird tact for Hazuki, right? Because she's looking at everybody around, and she's like, oh, this is my competition. She's thinking about it very, like, competitively, where Kumiko was just like overwhelmed the entire time. And she's decided she's going to junior college, somewhere where I can get a nursery school teacher license. She's going to become a preschool teacher, which is great. You should do that. It's a great little job. You're great with the kids in the club. Not that they're literally 4 year olds, but you know, it's neither here nor there. I think she would be good at it. Apparently, Michi sensei suggested it, and then she's like, damn, that's like a good idea. I should do that. Um, Weird. I think I'm very much more like Kumiko, where I think about things too much. I think the key to having a happy life is being more like Hazuki, where it's like, oh shit, that is a good idea, and then just pursuing that. Like, stop second guessing everything on double checking and that kind of thing, just going for it. I think that's a great example. She's doing it the right way, I feel. Like, she asked me I was interested, and then I thought, yeah, maybe I am. Also, fucking this background, holy shit. Every time. You wouldn't know it, but Michi sensei pays attention to all of us. Isn't that kind of awesome? The same way that Kumiko in this episode is trying to pay attention to everybody, right? It really shows that she cares. And then we directly bring it up here. Teachers are amazing. Hey, maybe you should be a teacher too, Kumiko. But mostly as a joke, so we can play off the Taki sensei, one of the first scenes that he has where he talks to the class and says that they're shit, basically. Nandesu ka, kore? With the glasses? Yeah. Fantastic. So funny. Okay, after that scene when I just rewatched it when editing, and kind of as a halfway point in the season almost, I kind of want to talk about big picture stuff for what we're trying to get at for the entire thing for Kumiko, right? Because now we're really pushing this teacher angle, right? Specifically, Michi Sensei, who we mentioned, has a look at everybody and is always kind of taking in more information than we're thinking at the moment, right? Think about the very start of the season. We're focusing on Michi Sensei as well. I feel like she's pretty damn important thematically to what Kumiko wants to be, needs to be, that kind of thing, right? So again, Kumiko moving into this teacher job at the end of it all, right? And kind of using her experience as the president of the club in a very similar figurehead role for the entire kind of operation they have going on to a teacher. Like, this experience is going to inform how she teaches in the future and if she's any good at it, right? Specifically, Michi Sensei focuses on everybody and secretly, or not so secretly, like, has some plans for them, figures some stuff out, blah, 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 blah. Like, we wouldn't have thought that she was paying much attention to Hazuki. It turns out she was, gave her a really good kind of pep talk and a career direction during their little meeting, which she is now pursuing and seems pretty happy in doing so. I think that should be the goal for Kumiko, especially with the Mayu situation here at the moment. Actually think, sit back, look at her, observe, ask questions, try to figure out what's going on there, and then suggest something going forward that's actually going to improve things, right? And again, I've been very cynical about Kumiko always relying on Reina, going back to Reina, talking with Reina, hanging with Reina, where I don't think if you want to do what she's doing right now in her president role as a career in the future, she can't be doing those same things all the time. She just can't. There's got to be sacrifices there, and maybe it's less time with Reina. And maybe that feeds into a lot of the Liz and the Bluebird imagery that we have going on as well in this episode and the rest of this season overall. A lot of the winter into spring stuff, a lot of the music school
purported separation of these two characters. Maybe she does need to move away from Reina to become better at what she wants to be in the future. Maybe that's some of the sacrifice she needs to make. Again, just yeah, very interesting overall stuff, kind of combining this teacher Kumiko future storyline with her presidency and what she's learning from it, and specifically with Mayu and what she needs to do to get a good result out of the whole Mayu situation. Even here, very obviously passing her a pamphlet, which is like, hey, do you want this thing? It's a guide to secondary education. I took one as well, but obviously I'm going into early childcare. You have this one instead. There's a small dialogue sequence there where Kumiko thinks maybe I'm the broken one where I can't just figure out what I want to do one day and just figure it out. And then obviously from there, we pop back home, and then her sister's home, who went through this exact same conflict first season, second season, one of them, where, hey, she thought she was deciding what she wanted to do forever and then dropped out and did something else, which is also an option. It's not final. And it's kind of a weird tone to this scene. They just kind of bicker the entire time, kind of like siblings, but there's still this kind of mutual respect there. I don't know. They've come a long way, I guess. Just remember, again, this important connection to music that Kumiko has, basically because of her sister teaching her. So, like, that's important to remember here in this conversation as well. So if I was to do something that would make my sister proud as well, wouldn't it have something to do with music, the thing that she was forced to abandon in kind of the hopes for a career, right? She moved away from music to study hard, and then that didn't go anywhere. So maybe you're making your sister feel better about things if you go into music teaching. Like, it feels like she influenced you in some way. There's a nice connection there. I think the connection here with the gift for dad and it being some like nice bath salts and stuff is that you've gone into beauty and you got him something that would feel nice. Just a nice gift for dad when you're back home, and something that he actually uses and likes. It's full circle on their whole drama from season 2 of the show. Kumiko is also just me here. I hate it when people talk about like future stuff, like find a stable job, blah blah. As long as you do this, as long as you, yeah, I have heard this a bajillion times from every family member your age, perpetually for the last like fucking 10 years. Like, just settle. I just talk about anything else, please. Obviously, Kumiko trying to hit a sore spot here and bringing up the whole quitting college and becoming a beautician thing for Mamiko, but there's a knowing look here that, you know, it's all actually going to be okay, right? Like right here. Yeah, you know, I'm secretly kind of proud of you still. Like, embrace the struggle, my sister. And then, yeah, this what I talked about before, kind of the full circle. That was a nice bath. Thanks for giving me the stuff. And then from there, straight into the pool stuff. And again, where we, you know, it's Kyoto Animation fan service time. Yeah, she's cracking me up this episode. Yayoi fantastic. Oh yeah, we also invite Sally, which is nice. I didn't think we'd see Sally again. So again, I'm stupid, so I didn't get what they did, right? They traded swimsuits, like bottoms and tops. Hmm. Do people do that? I would never do that. Do people do that? Is that a thing? I know my large female audience can't really speak to it very much, I don't think, because they don't really exist, but like, this is out of the ordinary, right? That's what I'm trying to get across. Anyway, Ruruka's here, and that's way more important. So shoutouts to Ruruka. Shoutouts to these two together, the original odd couple. We love it. And Ruruka's very on the nose. I think she's just funny. She's just like very blatantly looks at both of their swimsuits and say, "You both look so good." And then this little animation of her moving like that is just fantastic as well. You gotta love to see it. Like, look at this judgment too. Oh my god. Anyway, we quickly get to the more important stuff. What are we gonna do? Kumiko and Reina. Kumiko decides that talking to Mayu is the most important thing here, because that's why I invited her in the first place. Now, sorry to pause on her legs, but is this like a birthmark or something? I don't know what that is. Sure. Weird. The conversation here has a lot of pauses in it, where the camera here is fantastic. It's probably, again, it is one of the most important scenes in the episode and needs the directorial stuff to back it up. We're purposely separated from the conversation. It doesn't feel intimate. It doesn't feel personal. It feels obligatory. And they're just kind of exchanging pleasantries to start, like literally talking about the weather. Mayu quickly brings up Reina and how close they are to switch kind of swimsuits with each other, right? And it's like, oh, well, you're that close with Tsubame-chan, right? I don't know if they are. They're friends, they talk, but they're not like
besties. I don't think. The whole point of this conversation is that Mayu doesn't have any besties. And conversation quickly turns to Suzume as well, and Suzume is amazing. She can talk with anybody and make friends with everybody, right? Something that I feel a little bit of jealousy about. I like this as a cutaway too. You can very easily like kind of guess what happened here. Yayoi said something fucking stupid, and then these two goobers started laughing. A little bit of judgment from Kanade, and fucking Ririka's just loving being there. Just good stuff. Oh, this is great too. How are you then? Is the question that Kumiko asks, and then like not looking her in the eye. I wonder, like you don't want to. You're being very closed off about this, even now, right? Like, like this is something you should have pursued earlier. And now I'm a little bit scornful about that. That's the tone I'm getting from this. Then Kumiko starts kind of praising her a lot, like, "Oh my god, you're so approachable. The kind of kohai love you. You're mama. You're responsible. That kind of thing." And the whole time she's kind of caressing the camera, which is again the symbol of my separation from everybody else. I am useful in so much as I take pictures. I am again useful, not a friend, not somebody that people can love. Again, she thinks of herself as kind of a people pleaser. That's the way to make people happy. My goal is to make everybody happy and make sure everybody's okay. Again, linking into this mama theme, right? I feel like a parent sometimes in that way. And then we get really specific here. See, I think I have less of a sense of self than most people. I don't have many preferences. I'm fine with everything. Not very particular, right? Those words gave me the idea of where the vague discomfort was coming from. And the link that Kumiko goes to immediately is that like, that kind of reminds me of the drifting through life, just letting things happen upon me, nature of me in middle school, and what I, Kumiko, have moved out of because of Reina. And it only really worked because Reina gave a fuck, like a lot of a fuck. And it seems like Kumiko is giving less of a fuck than Reina gave a fuck back in the day. Does that make any sense? Like, Mayu needs her Reina to pull her out of this, because I'm seeing Mayu at the moment is almost an opposite of Reina character foil wise, right? Like Reina knows what she wants and she goes and gets it, and Mayu is the opposite. She lets things happen upon her. She isn't a go-getter, that kind of thing, right? Kumiko, of course, is in the middle of the two of them. Is Kumiko going to go over to Reina's side and then try to pull Mayu along with her? But again, is that cynical? Is that only for the benefit of the club? Or is it actually out of genuine want to be friends and get closer? I don't know. That's the conflict, right? It's also a little bit egotistical of being like, oh yeah, this character in the third year reminds me of me in middle school. That must mean they need a little get up and go and introduction and everything. And there's nothing deeper going on. Like, it's a little bit easy and a little bit naive from Kumiko, which isn't the first time we've said that. Now we get to the Liz and the Bluebird stuff, right? So Kitauji played Liz and the Bluebird last year, right? I can't help but think that Liz is selfish. She had plenty of animals that she spent time with. Why was she so fixated on the blue bird? Now, again, I think we're talking about Kumiko and Reina here again, right? And in our little metaphor, in our Liz and the Bluebird here, we've got Liz as Kumiko, and we've got the Bluebird as Reina. So again, are we going to follow the same lesson that we learned in Liz and the Bluebird about which character is which and who's actually imprisoning who? Where again, the lesson that Mizure needed to learn and Nozomi needed to learn as well was who and who was keeping who from doing stuff, and why the ending of Liz and the Bluebird is an ultimately happy ending, and possessing somebody's flight as a metaphor and that kind of thing. And now we're applying that to Kumiko and Reina obviously as well, where hey, yeah, it may be tempting to hold on to Reina, but is that what's best for Liz, right? Why is she so fixated on the Bluebird when she needs to be fixated on all these other animals around her, the rest of the club? Again, we're talking to this push and pull with Kumiko. One side, Reina and stuff. The other side, the club, the presidency. She's being pulled. I think it's really selfish that you go off and you're fixated on your Bluebird, Reina, all the time when you should be doing other things. Though that's probably not the way most people see it, immediately hiding behind camera again. Most people fixate on one thing or another, right? You're like that too, Kumiko, right? Obviously, that's what we've been implying the entire time, that she's too fixated on Reina. You like this person, you hate that thing. I think it's a bit extreme to say you aren't normal if you aren't like that, though. Again, separating herself, I don't believe Mayu has any of this. She may be growing to hate Kumiko a little bit, but she definitely doesn't have anything she loves. And then Kumiko's basically like, that's kind of cringe, and then, yeah, that's exactly what I thought you would say. And that's what I thought. No one would ever love someone who isn't like that. Like me, right? No one would ever love somebody like me because I think these weird things sometimes. And then there's no like answer here from Kumiko really. I also wanted to cut back here. There was these shots here. I should have highlighted them before. Like a back and forth camera movement just showing one of the characters and then not even really a portion of the other one as they talk, right? They're not meeting on a level. They're still separated. The camera work is, using the empty space of the frame to get that across. I think that's pretty good direction. But again, that was very early in the scene when they're not connecting, and then when they actually have a genuine moment here at the end, Kumiko can't match the moment, and instead Reina and Tsubame show back up, and her attention is diverted elsewhere again, which again proves Mayu's point. She doesn't really care that much if she's not pursuing this harder. I guess Kumiko starts to lock in here, but then is interrupted by Reina being back, which again speaks to what Mayu's talking about as well. And then we have the very on-the-nose metaphor of getting a bunch of different drinks. Look at them all, right? And then instead of picking one for herself, having an actual preference here, Mayu thinks of everybody else first. Self-sacrifices. Much like the camera takes a photo of everybody else without being in it herself, sacrificing her moment for everybody else's. She's not going to pick a drink, she's going to wait to see what everybody else wants and just take the last one. Now, Kumiko thought she was cooking here, but really she was just, again, band-aiding over something that's a way bigger issue. So we took a picture, right? All very cute, right? We also say her camera is moody, her dad gave it to her, and I like the color more than digital. So I don't know about moody as a translation there. I don't know. We bring up pictures. Do you have any pictures from Seira? Yes, I do. I keep them all at home. And she's like, here's the moment. Okay, let's take a picture this time and let's get Mayu into it. And Kumiko thinking to herself here, right? Buoyed by this water. Like, she's friends with everybody. Nobody hates her. It's like she's wading in, like, lukewarm water right now. That's what I'm getting from the visual metaphor here, right? Like, she's neither hot nor cold. She's just somewhere in the middle, like the pool water on a hot day. Where again, Reina is explicitly winter. She is extremely cold. Where Kumiko is halfway in between, which is interesting as well. It's almost like Mayu is a spring metaphor as well. But yeah, more to the point, again, everybody likes her, nobody loves her. That's the tone of Mayu. But isn't that kind of sad? Gets a little bit of, confidence on and invites her to be in the picture. Which again is a good step, but it is just that, a step. We're not done here. Again, nothing changes. We still pan back to the lukewarm water. You didn't solve the issue here. Just a little bit extra here because I can't stop talking about this show. I think there definitely is something to beating this Mayu situation and growing into an adult because of it. Like, her nickname is Mama, right? Mama Kuroe. So, hey, if I am successful at the end of this situation, it's demonstrated some genuine growth for Kumiko as a character, and in the stages of growing up, she is becoming older and wiser and better and stuff. I've also gone into the thing with temperatures already a little bit there. I think less Reina represents cold. She does, right? But that's only part of it. She represents more accurately extremes. She's extremely passionate. She's extremely fierce. She's extremely cold to certain people. She's extremely attached to Kumiko. Like, Mayu doesn't operate on such extremes, as we saw with the drinks, right? Has the choice of any of the kind of team members of the group, any of the concert band members, any of the club members, right? But in the very end, doesn't choose any of them and leaves everybody else to choose their own instead, right? Has in the past made steps towards Kumiko to get closer, and Kumiko's basically palmed her off both times. So of course Mayu's a little bit cynical about Kumiko's actions now. That just makes sense. Kumiko needs to conquer this in her journey to becoming a teaching professional, as well as an adult, as well as coming of age and just being a better human. She needs to solve this character conflict on her way to doing so. And I think that's very, very good writing. Again, combining all of these different things. I don't even have a guess as to how she's going to do it. I'd love a conversation with Asuka somewhere along the line for a bit of advice. I think that'd be cool, right? Because Asuka's whole thing, she often separated herself as well, but for different reasons. So potentially, again, we're doing a lot of Asuka Mayu parallels. We can discuss with her how best to approach this and get closer and that kind of thing. Like, Asuka made herself unattainable. I feel like Mayu is attainable, So, should be easier in theory. Yeah, again, this show just gets me yapping. It's very good. Also, completely
off track, I do like Kumiko's "or sexy" here when she sees the tan line. Or sexy. That's just good stuff. Now Yume. I don't know Yume. Yume was from NCon. I think we talked about her slightly. She's a trumpet person? Question mark? I don't know. She also brings up Kabe-chan senpai here, so I don't know. I'm lost on this character. So now Mayu's back. She got the pictures done, and we're going to see the pictures. And yeah, sure, they look great. The pictures of everybody else. There's a lot of great shots here, actually. Particularly like this one. I want a copy of it. Also, yeah, it could be even more expressive if I could change the lens, says Mayu there as well, which is probably something. And yeah, where's that last picture you took with all of us? It didn't develop. Your plan, your plot, Kumiko, it didn't work. We're not on a level yet. And then, yeah, she turns her body away from the rest of the group and they have a little private moment here, right? Still a lot of separation in the frame, which I love kind of storyboard wise. Even the fog slightly on her body versus her head, like it's not all there. And this is the most important scene of the episode by far. Why did you invite me to take that picture? Why did you invite me to the pool overall? I've been wondering if there's something you wanted to talk to me about, right? And a bunch of other various photos. A butterfly, an otter towel. And yeah, she sees this as kind of cynical. Like, you just want me to cause no problems, right? Don't worry, I'll cause no problems, so you don't need to do this obligatory stuff anymore. You want the best people to be chosen for Kitauji and to put on the best performance. You're putting on your president mask, and that's the only reason why you're talking to me. It isn't on the same level as Reina, right? Our relationship. I get that, people have done that to me in the past, immediate contrast between Mayu and Reina there as well. And that shot of the Liz and the Bluebird photo as well, when we're talking about Liz and the Bluebird. And the next piece begins and we move into the camp. So again, we've moved Liz and the Bluebird. Kumiko is Liz, Rain is the Bluebird. Mayu represents the animals that get kind of left behind in kind of Liz's pursuit of the Bluebird. And ultimately they go off and they have their little story. And one of them goes off and it flies away and is set free and takes flight. But in all of it, there's a character forgotten. And that's who Mayu represents in our little metaphor, and I think that's kind of brilliant, building upon everything we've seen in the past. Even a camera here in the ED, which is kind of cool too. And I'm going to stop yapping, because I've yapped for quite a bit about this episode, which was essentially the beach episode. I don't know what possessed me to yap so much, but I did. It was really good again. Like, obviously, the show's just... it continues to impress me. It's obviously for the fans in a lot of ways. I don't think anybody could just walk into this and think, this is amazing. But at the same time, I think there's some inarguable quality here that could impress anybody. It's just really good. I'm keen to see what they do with Mayu. I'm keen to see the result we go for. Kumiko's at least acknowledging the problem, but again, the methods aren't there yet. She needs to change tact entirely. There's probably going to be more drama around this audition upcoming, but more than anything, there was just swimsuits and Rurika, so that's a good episode, and Yuko and Natsuki. So yeah, next week, 2 episodes. We should be doing 8 and 9. Yeah, that sounds correct. So looking forward to that then. Thanks for watching this week. Patreon, if you want to be 1 week ahead and watch those episodes now, you can do that. And yeah, goodbye. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Discord, subscribe, like the video, all that shit.